Hey y'all, welcome to the live. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hope all is well. Yes. Y'all hit the like button and come on in here and say hello in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, what are we talking about today? Before we start, I want to say thank you. Someone sent me something on my wish list, and they did not send a letter or anything with who it's from. So obviously it's anonymous, but they sent me this lighting, this pool light. It's a solar pool light for my pool. Thank you. And then they sent me a swimsuit cover up. It's still in the airtight bag, but thank you. It looks like it's giving like mermaid. So thank you so much, whoever sent me this from my wish list. There was no note in the box. I appreciate you. All right. All right, so now, y'all, I see some of y'all are in here. I spelled money wrong? Girl, how could I ever do that? Thank you for correcting me so soon in the video, because you know what? How dare I? Hold on, that was a little commercial there. Let me edit the video, because that is terrible. I was typing way too fast. There we go. Okay. Got it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. If you refresh, it'll be correctly spelled. I was trying to get on here too quick. Oh, thank you, Shaw Winters, for the super stinker. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, girl. All right, let's talk about how women with money view men. They don't like this one, baby. Women that have money, they view men very different. Okay? Unless they're pygmy. So, women that are, let's just say women who love themselves and have high self-esteem and money view men very different. Why? Because they don't need them at all. At all. 0% needing them. So when a man approaches a woman that has money, he might not know she has money, but in her mind, what's going through her mind is, let's see if you pass this huge test that you know he's gonna fail. So you're just letting him spin his wheels because you already know he's gonna fail the test. That sounds so clear. I got a new mic. Actually, I got a mic because I didn't have a mic before. I was just talking and hoping y'all heard me. So, when a man approaches a woman who has everything she wants, it's almost like he's setting himself up to fail. It's hilarious. But you go ahead and let him audition. You know he ain't gonna make it. It's like how on American Idol they let all those terrible people audition just so they could laugh and have some content for their show, some bloopers. That's how it feels when you have money and you're a man is trying to approach you. Okay, it feels like the bloopers. It feels like the comic relief. It feels like you ain't gonna make it, but we're gonna go ahead and show you, on American Idol. So it's kind of like that. And they try their hardest. They think they're doing good. They're trying to impress you. And then they get an attitude when you're not impressed by them. And then it's almost like, okay, it's a no for me. You don't get to go to Hollywood. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So that's how it's like. All right. That's what it's like. So, and they try everything that they can. And when nothing works, they just look tired and, defeated. So if you are a man, most men don't want women with money anyway. So it's a win-win. Most men don't want a woman that has money anyway. So it's a win-win. Because they can't impress her. They can't tell her what to do. She's not desperate for them. You know, there's other people that lined up and more worthy. And that's literally it. Okay? That's literally it. Even men with money don't like women with money because they can't impress them. Now, if you're a man with money and you don't want to be used for your money and you want the real truth and the real deal and you want somebody to deal with you because they feel like it, then yes, you need a woman with money if you want the real truth. But then the problem with that is sometimes they don't like dealing with someone that's only dealing with them for them. And then they go find someone they can impress with their money. So it goes back and forth. Okay. And a lot of times women will not deal with a man if she has her own money. She'll just date and then dismiss them. She'll have a little boyfriend and then she'll dismiss them. Okay. Because a lot of times men don't like impress women enough that already have their own money. And it's hard because they don't really have anything left to impress with unless they're an extraordinary human being. You know what I mean? And that's very rare among men these days. Oh, you got yourself a provider, quit your job, thanks to you. You haven't given up the cookie, and he asked me to marry him. Thank you. Uh-oh, girl, get your money, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Get all your money. I know that's right. Get a savings going and start a business. Congratulations. All right. So what happens is, like, usually sometimes when you have like a wealthy family, the man will marry another wealthy woman who's connected to another wealthy family for business ties or, you know, whatever pedigree. But then usually his second wife or his mistress, she's the one he wants to impress now with his money. Now that he has more of it because of hers, okay? Or more clout. So usually you want to impress someone with their money and they can't impress a woman that already has money. So they get her hand in marriage first, then they go and like get a mistress, or maybe they divorce and have a second wife that they can impress with money. Okay. So if you're one of those ladies that have money, don't look for a man to treat you like, you know, blah, 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 blah. Look for a man that has an actual personality and who's a decent human being who also has money, that doesn't seek out validation from women just because of this money. Now, this is hard and rare to find, but usually it's an older man who's already been there and done that, already been with the young ones, the old ones, the rich ones, and the poor ones. It's usually when they want to settle down and have an actual conversation with someone, and they don't want to invite the outside world in, you know what I mean? So usually this is what happens. They'll meet someone and it's not going to be about money anymore, but definitely he'll take care of all the bills because he's the man. But he doesn't have to try to impress with anything except who he is, his character. And that's a man who truly wants to work on himself from the inside. And few men ever reach that point. So if you're rich as a woman, it's going to be harder for you to find a decent human being, which is why you see a lot of rich women dating younger, or a lot of rich women just dating for fun and not trying to get married. Okay. Because men will do anything but work on themselves. And a Dusty will do anything but get some money. So what you gonna do? Okay. Yeah, what you gonna do, right? But either way, we look at them as like women that have money look at men as if they're not ever gonna impress us ever, unless they put in work on themselves, and that's very, very rare, like I said. So A lot of people always say, so if money is not a factor, if money did not exist, what would you want in a man? And the point of asking that question is because they want to know what they got to do. Okay, so if the money didn't exist, a man would literally have to work on himself in order to impress a woman. So a lot of times they don't know how to do that. They don't know what to do, how to impress you. And so it's hard for them to work on themselves if they don't know how to impress you. Now, how do you impress somebody that got everything and you got everything? You learn new skills. You have some knowledge. You have some conversation. You have manners. You have a decent personality. You're a good person. If you're trying to have kids, you learn how to be a good father. If you're trying to be a husband, you learn how to be a good husband. You do things, you buy gifts, you remember things, you celebrate things. Okay, you do the most, basically. You got to do stuff she can't do, like build stuff, learn how to build stuff, or hire people to build stuff and have it built and when she come home, surprise. You know what I'm saying? It's like gestures, grand things, okay? Grand things. You got to be grand. Remember, the woman is already grand. And so in order for you to impress a grand being, you got to be grand or even grander. Which means you got to work on yourself. You got to evolve. So most people aren't going to do that. Most men aren't going to do that. There's a slight echo. Girl, hold on. Let me turn it down. Is that better? Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Let me see. What the heck? I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Good enough, y'all. So yeah, it's hard because they're not going to do the work in order to impress you. Like, think about a woman's perfect man. What's he going to do? Why do you think Rihanna chose her current partner as her baby daddy and not a billionaire she dated before? Because the billionaire had more money than her, and he was of a different religion. And she ain't finna switch religions, and she ain't finna listen to nobody, okay? I think it's also she had history with her current man, and he did grand gestures to win her. And she already has all the money. She's looking at him as a human being, which honestly, I don't feel like I could do. Because it's like at any given moment, this person could embarrass you. You know what I mean? In public. Unless she got some type of, I'll sue you if you do type situation going on. Okay, unless there's some paperwork saying if you embarrass me in public and do A, B, C, and D, it's over for you financially. So, but why would you want to have that type of dynamic? I don't know, but still, it's in place. Probably, most likely, she's a Pisces. It's in place, believe me. All right. It's in place. Let me see. Is this better? Is this better? Should you ask for gifts from the beginning? Yep. Just to see if he's a provider. I mean, if he really likes you, he wants to impress you, how to impress women, give them what they want. Okay. The sad thing is men think that they're impressive, but what they don't realize is that most of the time women are pretending to be impressed so they can get to their money. And a lot of men don't realize this. If women had money, they would be so bored. They would be rolling their eyes. They wouldn't be laughing at their jokes most of the time, unless that man is genuinely funny, unless that man is generally interesting, unless that man is actually, some sort some form of charming. But if women already had their own money, they'd literally just be rolling their eyes, huffing and puffing, waiting on the food to get there so they can ghost them later. Like literally. So that's why. That's why it's very important for men to have money, because they don't have much else. Okay. Now, you got to understand, it's very important for men to have money because they're not impressive enough. Now, if you are an impressive man, but you don't have money, that's still something that you're lacking. And then all of that doesn't count anymore. You see? So, like, you can be the best this and the best that and the funniest this and the funniest that and the smartest this and the smartest that. But if you're not balanced with that money, it doesn't even matter, you know? So that's why it's very important for you to be a whole grown able-bodied man to impress a woman, especially one that has her own money. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Especially if she got her own money. You have to be whole and being able to pay for stuff too. And she ain't supposed to whip out her purse in your presence, or she ain't supposed to be paying her own bills if y'all are cohabitating or married. All right. Still. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said if men are visual creatures, then why do their women look like that? Because they have more than one, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You see, men are visual creatures, but they also have more than one sometimes. You keep forgetting. They got one over here, one over there. Okay? The maid can't always be beautiful. Okay? The mother of the children aren't always going to be the best looking thing. The pedigree, the bloodline, the etiquette, and the family money, that's something different. Do you understand? So, that understand why some men with money marry plain looking blah women? Maybe that's because they just want their pedigree, their bloodline, their network, their family ties, their family monies to combine. All right. The mistress might look like something totally different. The second wife might be totally different. Okay. And remember, there's levels to money. If he has more money than you and you still have money, that's still impressive to the woman. Like, oh my gosh, if she's a millionaire and he's a billionaire, that's still impressive. Especially if you like him. You know, what's a billionaire to a millionaire? Impressive. So even if a woman is a millionaire or a multimillionaire, a billionaire is also still impressive to her. She's not going to view him the same as somebody with no money. You know, she'll just view him as somebody who has, you know, a nicer career, a better, you know, more money, but she's not going to treat him like he's a god, like somebody that doesn't have any money. Not going to treat him like that. She's going to treat him just like, oh, okay, so I'm dating up now, that I better, you know, put on my best behavior. So it's very impressive when they have more, but still, you know. A man flaked first date, came back asking for another chance, but still moves inconsistently. Girl, where's the reentry fee? I told y'all about this. In order for you to talk to that man again, he needs to pay a reentry fee. In order for you to conversate on the phone with him or on text, you just send him a Cash App request or PayPal or Venmo request. You don't sit there over there and talk to him, listen to his dumb excuses, get paid to listen to it. Thank you, girl. Manifest Anik, sprinkle. You don't listen to why he did this and that for free. You get his money. Let him talk why after he done paid you. Okay. This is another reason that women with money don't deal with certain types of men, because they're a waste of time. And if you got money, you don't like wasting your time. Okay. Because time is money. So therefore, Women with money are less likely to waste their time waiting on somebody to do something for them. All right. Women are with money are less likely to waste their time waiting on a man to do something for them. They'll have another person in place to do that for them. They'll do it themselves, and they'll quickly dismiss that man or make them pay for their time. Okay. That's it. Because a lot of times, you know, men will waste your time on purpose. On purpose. Right? Sure, what should you do? You look 7 years old. Girl, don't listen to me very carefully. Nobody cares how old you are. They just want to roll around on the mattress with you. Okay. All right. You work in a club, right? You're supposed to look cute and men are supposed to hit on you. That's your job. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What are you talking? Well, don't complain about the job you chose, baby. Okay. What? What? So you look younger? Well, then you start to look older. Dress older. Put some more makeup on. Get a wig to make you look old. I don't know. Do your makeup so you can look older. All right. How many dates to ask for money? One, or even before that. You should be hinting and cluing around about how to get some money, about what you're saving up for, what you want, what you like. In the beginning, they're always trying to impress you, so you need to give them something to impress you with. Okay. Otherwise, they're going to think they're going to impress you with their personality, their sense of humor, their boring stories, and lies. If you already give them something to impress you with, like what you've been saving up for, your favorite flowers, your favorite perfume, how you're doing this and how you want to do that, and how you really are trying to do this and do that and get this and get that. Now they have something to impress you with. They don't have to sit up there and lie to you when they know what impresses you, when they know you like money, when they know you like gifts, when they know you like jewelry, perfume, flowers, whatever. They got something. You're supposed to be mentioning things on the phone or during the text, prior to the first date. Okay. Otherwise, then they have to just figure it out and guess, and they're probably going to be wrong. Now, if you're trying to get to or honestly know a human being on the first and second date, you're not going to know them anyway. You're meeting their representative, the version of themselves they wish they could be. Okay. The version of themselves they only act like when they're on a date with someone new who doesn't know them. Understand? You're not meeting the real them anyway. You're not knowing the real them anyway. Their actions speak louder than any of their words. Their real generosity comes out. Their real personality comes out when they are trying to impress you and do the most for you, because they're trying to show that they invest in you and that they are truly, genuinely interested in you. Okay? You can't really fake that. Here is my fourth day taking the elixir and felt a little tired for some reason. Okay, well then get some rest, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you for getting it. All right. I almost didn't go on live today because I said I was going to take a rest and watch something on TV, and I couldn't find anything to watch. So I just got up on here. I was like, forget it. There ain't nothing good to watch. All right. So I just got up here and started going. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't forget to rest. Sometimes, you expend too much energy and you need to rest and get away from draining people too. Ugh. There ain't nothing worse than being around a bunch of people that ain't doing nothing for you. All right. Okay. Don't ever tell people what you do. Always lie, especially to men. You could tell them a fraction of what you do, and they'll like if you are very successful and you give them a fraction of what you do that not even supposed to be making a lot of money, they'll still be intimidated, y'all, because they let me tell y'all why men are intimidated when you have money. Because they know they can't do anything to impress you. They know there's nothing that they can do. Nothing. They know they already failed before they even try. That's why you don't tell them. Because you at least want them to audition, see what they talk about, see what they got, see how much they're willing to give and offer. Because if you drive up there with a nicer car, with a better career, and more money, you know what I'm saying? They know that they already failed. They know they already failed. It's over. Before they know they about to waste their time, and they will not be impressing you unless they break out the big bucks. And that's something that they probably don't want to do. So just be used to it if you're going to tell people what you do for a living. And just be used to the feeling of disappointment every time a man opens his mouth trying to impress you with, his little chump change or his bad personality and bad character. Okay? Because women that have money can see through so much more than women that don't have money because they're more desperate. You understand? When you're not desperate for a man, when you already have everything you want, you're not desperate to have any man or whatever, you could see straight through them. It's so funny. And this is why sometimes I help y'all out and let you know. You can see the micro tendencies that they have. You can see their reaction, even though that they're trying to hide it. You can see their anger when they're trying to mask it. Like you can just see so much with a lot of these men because they can't succeed at impressing you. You're currently looking for a provider and trying to figure out where to go. A question is, should I attend a fundraiser next month? The tickets, yeah, go. Sprinkle. If you're try to get sat at a table with like business owners, and so you can network somewhere. I don't know if you can pick out where you want to sit, or they'll just seat you at a table, or if it's just a walk around event. I don't know, but yeah, definitely invest in yourself. You never know. Sprinkle. And if you go there and spend that much money, make sure that you go around and you make your rounds. Be seen. Look good. And look up the fundraiser for the year prior to see what the people are wearing. Because sometimes you might go over there, you might be overdressed or underdressed. So you need to go look. They usually have like some type of Facebook or gallery of pictures of the prior year of that fundraiser, and you can go see what the women are wearing. Okay? All right. You all want to be looking crazy. Okay. You can also see who's attending, right? Yeah. Okay. What to do when men look at you lustfully in public and makes you uncomfortable? Tell them you're a man. Sprinkle. Okay. Yes, and see who donated and how much. Yeah, you can see who got the money too, girl. I know that's right. Yeah. Okay. So you could see straight through men when money is not the issue. Like when you don't want any money from them or don't need any money from them, and they still try to come on to you, even though they don't know you got money. You can literally pick up every microaggression, every speck of insecurity within them, even though you haven't even told them the most. You can still see the insecurity in them for them knowing the bare minimum, and that's how you know. That's how you know there's nothing there for you. Okay. You can literally tell a good, decent human being of a man by just how he makes you feel in his presence. Okay. Because I've been around good guys and dusties. I've been around gay, like liars and like misogynists. I've been around all types of guys, right? And the most purest, genuine type person will always make sure you're comfortable. This is a key thing, okay? They will make sure you're comfortable, that you have everything you need, and they're not interrogating you. Okay? You will never feel like you're under interrogation with a decent man. Okay? When you're with someone that's trying to use you, you will be under interrogation. Okay? When you're with someone that's trying to humble you or use you, you will be under interrogation when they're in your presence. When you're with someone who genuinely likes you and wants to impress you, they will be charming and they will make sure you are comfortable. And when you're with somebody that is just a straight up dusty, you already know what that is, girl. It ain't a good feeling at all. Your nervous system will literally respond to that man in a good way or a positive way. So ladies, start paying attention to your nervous system and how you feel around a man. Because that is an indicator. You need to start paying attention to your intuition more. That is an indicator of what type of being that you're sitting in front of. Okay? That's an indication of the type of being you are sitting around with. Now, I'm telling you, the interrogators are the users and the losers. So if you're on a date and they're asking you 20 questions, dumb, stupid questions, humbling questions, questions that no man should be asking, all the red flags right there. Okay? All of them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, I think interrogation is a part of patriarchy. No, it's not. It's the part, you know what? Those are the guys that are insecure when they interrogate you on that level. They're insecure. They're comparing themselves to you. They're going tit for tat. They want your answer so that they can compare it to their lives. Do you understand? Or they want your answer so they know how to use them against you. Do you understand? Or to humble you. So, and when they're interrogating you, it's not because they like you. Do you understand? It's because they're insecure, they're comparing themselves, they're competing, and they want to humble you if the before prior questions didn't do that. Do you understand? All right. So we don't do interrogation dates. We change the subject. And we say, oh, you know what? This feels like a job interview. I don't even know. Like I didn't know I filled out an application. It feels like a job interview. I don't work. So when it starts to feel like a job interview or 20 questions or an interrogation, he's not the one, baby. Okay. When it feels comfortable, when you feel light, when you feel like you can exhale and just enjoy, there's no pressure, there's no interrogation. Everybody's just happy to be there in each other's presence. That's what you're looking for. Okay. And there's no rush. When there's no, people that are trying to rush you or they're broke and broke-minded. Okay. When there's calm, ease, comfort, that's the one. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Interrogation, 20 questions. I just said it. 20 questions. That means they ask you question after question after question after question about stuff that's none of their business, none of their business, none of their business. You understand? Interrogation. For example, how many kids do you have? They got the same daddy. Dumb, dusty question. It doesn't matter because they're not trying to date your kids or your baby daddies, if you have any. They're trying to get to know you as an individual person. They're not trying to size you up for marriage because they don't even know if you want to get married. Because if you have your own money, that's not always the goal. You understand? So many men don't realize this, especially these days. Sometimes marriage ain't the goal and you ain't the husband type. So you can interrogate somebody all you want. It don't mean they want you as a man or a husband. Okay, so when you start interrogating women, this is what happens. They automatically think that they want you to be their husband. Nope. They automatically think that you're asking a series of questions in order for her to pass a test. She's not taking a test because you're not a good teacher and you're a dummy. Third, yes, we don't need to answer your questions correctly. In fact, Some women will start to answer them in a silly manner so you can get a stupid answer for the stupid questions you're asking. Correct? But some women will just have fun with it and start making up some crap. How do you raise an emotionally secure and confident daughter when she doesn't have a very involved father? She's still a baby. So what should I focus on during each stage? Okay, you should focus on making her self-obsessed, getting up, getting dressed, doing the most, making sure she makes up her bed, has a clean room, you know, making sure she looks good everywhere she goes. Teach her, you know, make her read books, of course. Give her books, make sure she's a reader, because that's where they have the information in books. Make sure she feel confident about herself, first and foremost. Make sure she understands the dynamic of masculine and feminine, okay? If her father is not in her life, explain and tell her the truth as to why. Kids deserve the truth, okay? All right. Sure, I do manage a man that supports me financially, okay? And we live together, but always talk down to me and feel like I have to walk on eggshells. I do enjoy the money, okay? So get you some eggs, break them on the ground, and start walking on them. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you throwing eggshells on the floor and walking on them? And then just look at them. That's why. Say, this is how I feel every day when I deal with you. I feel like I'm always walking on eggshells. So I figured, hey, maybe if I do walk on eggshells, maybe there'll be some sort of contrast. Maybe I'll see the difference, but I don't see the difference. In fact, walking on real eggshells feels way better than the metaphorical eggshells I'm walking on every day with you. Okay. I'm not getting ready to walk on eggshells. I'm finna stomp and put on some tap dancing shoes. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He gonna be walking on eggshells. Flip the script. You got to get something on them, or you got to flip the script. Okay? Start your own business. See what happens. Start your own business and see what happens, baby. You ain't going to be walking on eggshells no more. You're going to be tap dancing. Do you understand? Stomping. Kicking stuff out the way. All right? You're going to run around like Michael Jackson. You stand on your toes. Yes, girl. That's why when you get into a relationship where the man is giving you money, what do I always say that I have to keep saying over and 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 over? Get your own business. How to set the bar in a relationship from the very beginning by having super high standards, or having standards high enough for only the men who are willing to reach them can reach them, and don't bend them for nobody. As soon as you bend your standards, they don't take you seriously anymore. Okay, and then think everything else can be bent, and they will try you. So keep your standards high and don't bend them. Unless they reach them, they cannot be a part of your life. Okay, it's next. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How to get him to spend when he talks about rolling around. It's like, hold your horses. We ain't even there yet. You ain't took me shopping. You hadn't paid no car notes. What you doing? You rushing ahead. Do not put the cart. Do not put the cart ahead of the horse, sir. All right. What's the rush, baby? If you like me, you want me to stick around, then let's take this as it comes. Okay. Now, there's a nice shopping center over there. I've been needing some new shoes. You know, let's go for a nice walk in the shopping center. Bring your wallet. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He still ain't finna roll around until he's gotten you debt free, but little does he know that. Every little thing might chip away, and then you still might change your mind later and not give him nothing. All right? So, Even if you have your own money, they're supposed to buy you gifts. Okay. And it should be something. Okay. So at this point, let's say you can buy yourself anything you want, right? At this point, the gifts can't just be luxury. They got to be special. They got to be something that's rare or something that you won't or can't get for yourself. Or something that's very thoughtful that you would never think to get yourself, but special. See, men have to go way above and beyond for women that already have money. That's why they choose to date women that has less money, because they're easily impressed. Sure, if I tell him I like flowers and he doesn't bring them on the first date, do you think he doesn't like? Okay, you got to remind him. You're like, okay, before the first date, like 10 minutes before he was like, I'm leaving, I'm getting ready, I'm on my way. It's like, okay, don't forget I like flowers, hint, hint. Or you can say, or you can send a bunch of flower emojis to remind the fool to go get some flowers. Okay. If you forgot the flowers, you can say, oh my gosh, where's my flowers? You can act disappointed. The whole date is ruined. Okay. And you don't go to that bathroom and order you some flowers on Uber Eats or DoorDash, you don't like you. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You see, if you were the type of woman that he really truly wanted to impress, he would have them flowers. Do you understand? He would catch a hint and a clue. He would go to that bathroom and order them flowers while y'all were at dinner to have them delivered. You understand? Flowers cost $8 at the grocery store. $10 sometimes, depending on what type of flowers you get. Or you can get the big bouquet for way more, for $50, whatever. But the smallest one is $8, So they think, especially since y'all met, I don't know if you met on a dating app, but if you met on a dating app, they think you're there for the same reason. And I keep telling y'all, when a man meets a woman on a dating app, he thinks you're there for the same reason he's there. You know why he there. So they're going to skip all the flowers. That's why you need to meet them in real life and teach them how to treat you. Like when they say, what are you doing? You need to say, oh, I'm looking at flowers. Jewelry. Oh, I'm just trying on a pair of shoes that I'm saving up for. Give them something to impress you with, because they can't really impress you any other way. If you already have money, sometimes, and they don't know, now their thing is like, how are they going to catch a hint and a clue? Are they going to follow through when they know you like things and they decide not to do them for you? See, men that don't want to impress women. Oh, I don't want her that I don't want her to think that she's going to take advantage of me. You're failing the test, sir. Okay? Because if she can't take advantage of you and get your money, if you don't bring her gifts, what else is there? What else are you offering? You're dry, boring, subpar, unevolved presence. This is why I say men need money, because they don't develop themselves. Like I said, some men will have developed themselves. Some. But very few and far in between. So that's why I say just go get some money, and you can avoid dealing with yourself as a man. All right, that's the shortcut. If you just go get some money, you can avoid dealing with your inside self, your character, and all of that as a man. You can avoid it all. You can just skip all of that and just give her the money. But some of y'all men out there are saying, oh, I want her to like me for me. Then you better go work on yourself. You better go work on yourself, because don't nobody like you for you. Most of y'all mamas don't like y'all for y'all as a man. Okay. So what does that tell you? Most of y'all's mamas don't even like y'all, Dusties, or men who don't have any good moral characters. Okay. So I'm telling y'all. You said 52% of men said they're not dating because they don't have any money. Okay, well, they know the problem. I need to go solve it. What should be the emotional state of women when attracting new providers? I have confidence, looks, and mindset, but emotional overwhelmed. Okay, you need to learn how to control your emotions. You're there for one reason and one reason only. To get their money. That's the goal, not them. Why are you involving emotions and getting money? That don't even go together. You're too focused on the man and not his money. That's the problem. So it's because you're focused on him and not his money. If you focus on his money only, there's no emotions involved. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So learn how to refocus on how to get his money, not him. He offered me some drinks at the bar and then invited me to dinner. I suggested, like them saying, I usually buy them for me. I didn't tell him directly. Okay, well, tell him directly. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Most men aren't going to remember what you're talking about. All they hear is blah, 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 blah. So that's why I said, text him them emoji flowers. Say, oh my gosh, I love flowers. Again, in the text, you got to remind these fools 3 and 4 times. They don't pay attention. Okay. They're not a stickler for details. They're not going to pay attention to what you're talking about. You're a woman. Remember that? So make sure you spell it out for them like a dummy, like the dummies that they are. Okay. You could even send them links of the bouquets you actually like, the name of your favorite flowers. You got to spell stuff out for men. They're not too bright. Okay. The ones that are bright, you ain't got to tell them twice. And usually, since they are so great, most of the time they take it. All right. So make sure you understand what you're dealing with out here. Understand what you're working with out here. Okay. Your husband brought you to this town. I had no one else but him. Okay. Well, that's one of the signs of an abuser. They isolate you so that you're totally dependent on them. Well, you better go make some friends, man. You got to make some good friends out there, girl. You better go find you an old Aunt Ethel. You better go find you a bestie. You better go find you a nice bartender that will tend bar and tell you who's who up at the bar. Okay? You better go join a gym. You better go make some friends right away. Usually when people try to isolate you, they try to control you. So you better be out of control and go make some friends. All right? Uber there. I don't care. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go find an extra one on the side if you want to. Neighbors, whoever. Stop falling into the trap. Go create whole another group of people that you could talk to. Make friends with the lady next door. I don't know. Thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Tell her you're new to town. Most people have pity on people that are new, and they'll take them under their wing. So all you got to do is tell them that you're new. You don't know nobody. You need some help. And come on. Especially old ladies. They will take you in like a child. Okay. And a man will not dare mess with you if you got an old lady as a friend, because she ain't afraid. You're an old lady friend. All right. Because he knows that's like a mother. And if you close to someone that's like a mother, they can't pull nothing. She could clack them. She be like, and he knows as soon as he mess up, who you gonna go talk to? That old lady. So get you an old lady friend. And it's just like having a mother nearby. Even if she's not super old, as long as she's like at least 10 years older than you, you're good. Go find you an old lady friend, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't find friends that are your age or younger. So he goes like, I don't like when you're hanging out with her. She's a bad influence. No, he can't say that about no old lady. She's an elder. Go get your old lady friend and figure it out. Mm-hmm. So he cheated and you're not. You need to Uber to another city. Oh, girl. Yeah, girl. You need to Uber back to your town. or Uber somewhere else and talk to somebody else. Someone says volunteer at the senior home. Oh, girl, you need an independent old lady with preferably one with some money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Mm-hmm. You said, nah, you won't hot popping friends like me. Okay, that's the fastest way to get looked over too. It's psychology. It's literal psychology. If your friends look good, just as good as you, if you're out and about, you don't stand out, and you're less attractive to other guys and to people in general. If your friends, if all your friends look good, and you don't look the best out of all of them, like if you're not way over them in looks, it automatically makes your attraction go down. If you're by yourself and there's nobody surrounding you, your attraction level goes up. Okay. So that's why you shouldn't hang out with a group of women, especially if they look good. All right. If you do, separate yourself. You go over there, let her go over there. Don't be together. All right. Yeah. If you stand out anyway, you good. But I'm just giving you some tips because that's how the human brain works. They're gonna automatically compare you. Okay. All right. You found out you're pregnant. You ain't ready. Girl, how old are you? Your boyfriend say he'll take care of me and baby don't have to work and I can go to the courthouse. He's not rich though, so I'm nervous. All right. Get to that courthouse. If you want to keep the baby. If you ain't ready, you're not ready. That's look. You just told me you ain't ready. And so that's enough for me. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's all I hear. You just said out of your own mouth, you ain't ready. So there you go. You told me what you wanted and how you felt, and then you told me how he felt and what he wanted. So I think you know the best thing to do. It depends on who you are and what you're gonna do about it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. If you're a deacon and you're not what? Y'all asked a weird question. You used to live in the River Oaks for 10 years, girl? Okay, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If his actions are always extravagant, but his romantic emotional effort is non-existent. What does that mean? It means he's showing off for other people. Most men can't emotionally connect. They don't know how. Okay. They feel like kindness is weakness when it comes to men. All right. A lot of times men expressing their emotions feels emasculating. That's why they have to have money. You understand? All right. Just collect the money, baby, because they don't work on themselves. So just work on them wallets. Do you understand? And I don't want them to work on themselves. I want to take their money. But if they want to work on themselves and they're actual good, decent human being, it's harder to want to just take their money. You know what I mean? It's harder to want to take it when they actually are a decent human that has done work on themselves. It's easy to take a man's money when you know he's trash. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So that's why when you meet a man that's decent, has worked on himself, knows how to treat women, a gentleman, knows how to emotionally connect, and he has money, he's less likely to be taken advantage of. He's less likely to be only wanted for his money. You know what I'm saying? Women will genuinely connect with that type of person and enjoy their presence without rolling their eyes and pretending. Okay? That's generally what's going to happen. But most men aren't there. So just get their money, darling. And it's not your job to teach them, baby. It's not. It's their mom's job. And it's their ability to want to do what's right. Their decision to want to do what's right. And it's their mama's job to teach them better. Or their daddy and their mama's job or somebody's job. Or their own job to work on themselves if they know that they're lacking. That's it. Would I ever debate with any man on YouTube? No. I don't need to debate what is already my truth. Okay? Because truth is only perspective. Okay? My truth does not resonate with Pygmisha. Okay? I'm a financial coach, not a relationship coach. So I'm not here to fix relationships. I'm here to fix wallets, purses, and bank accounts and compensate for wasted time. Do you understand? So I don't need to debate a man on a relationship. If you want to debate financial stuff, like why a woman deserves to be compensated for wasting her time with somebody obviously not impressive, I will definitely tell you, because that's good business sense, just business sense, okay? I think women are taught to be smart in every subject except a relationship. She's taught to invest her money. She's taught to have a spare tire. She's backup career, backup savings account, insurance, but there ain't no backup man. Oh, go to school for this. It makes a lot of money. Don't go date that man. He's broke. Go date that man. He makes a lot of money. Go to this career. It makes a lot of money. They're taught to know everything except how to navigate financially in a relationship. And you know why? Because if a man has money, he can get a woman's attention. But if he's broke, no one sees him as worthy or takes him seriously. Okay? So I'm just teaching women how to get this bag if they're going to be wasting their time with unworthy men. Now, if the man is worthy, he's going to have money anyway, and he's going to enjoy being a gentleman. And there's no argument with that, because you'll never hear rich men talking about gold diggers. They already know women are expensive. They already know they got to have a plan in place if they want to have a woman. They already know this. It's taught to them. So it doesn't make sense to debate a man for the reason that they should already have this knowledge. Okay? It doesn't make sense to debate a man when this is common sense. Okay, it's common sense. You're supposed to provide. Duh. If you can't provide, move out the way. There's no debate about that. There's no sense of arguing with a person or debating a person on what's obvious. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why. If you felt like the least powerful being on the planet, or you are oppressed because people wanted to oppress you as a woman, or they wanted to make you feel powerful or whatever. Once you got some power or some money, it's going to become evident and clear as to why you were being oppressed in the first place, because they can't impress you. They can't do nothing for you. They can't outthink you. They can't outdo you. The only thing they can do is lift heavy objects. Okay? So that's why. If they're not doing the most and working on themselves to become an evolved version of themselves, that's probably why they had to oppress women, because they couldn't evolve past they are. And when they realized that women could evolve past them, they had to take away the one thing, their rights and their ability to earn money, so that they could depend on the man for something that doesn't take self-work, because they can't evolve past a certain point. So they said, okay, well, we can't evolve past a certain point, so let's just put the money in place. They like money. They like comfort. They got to raise a family somewhere. So you give them the money, they don't even want to deal with you long term. You know, you give women money, they don't even want to really deal with you long term, and you're not impressive because you don't do self work to evolve. Okay, it's kind of like the rabbit and the hare. No, the hare and the tortoise story. You had all this time to win the race, to evolve, to get to the next level, but you dilly-dally. And then when the tortoise caught up, the tortoise won. Okay? So the men had all this time to evolve and become better people, but they didn't do it. They just focused on getting money. And now they're mad about women wanting only their money. So you better just go get the money, because you're not gonna do the work. Okay. And you can tell because they want to sit there and debate the obvious. They want to debate women. Only feminine men debate women. Like, what are we arguing about? You don't want to be a man or something? You don't want to be a provider? What do you want? You want to be the woman? You want to switch places? You want to go tit for tat? You want to be a woman's competition? What's the point of debating a man? Okay? It doesn't matter. How do you reject the guy nicely? Tell him Aunt Ethel is calling you. Oh my gosh, I gotta go change Aunt Ethel's Depends diaper. Aunt Ethel's calling. I gotta go. Bye. Dismiss yourself. Look, all those people that want to debate women on social media, I have zero respect for. You can't debate a woman. You came from one. What she said, what she said. Okay? No matter what you do, you're somebody's son. Some woman's son. No matter what you do, you some woman's son. So you can't really debate women. All right. Whenever I ask for something, whatever, they expect something physical, I say I don't do that. But should I also say that appearing with me is the blessing because I'm desired? Ma'am, let me tell you something. Are you meeting these men online? If you are, that's fine, because they're looking for something. They're looking for something online, and it ain't what you're looking for. Okay? If you meet them in real life and they expect something physical, it's like, oh, we got to get to know each other first. We can't just jump right into it. I don't feel comfortable with that. There's no rush. We're getting to know each other. There's no rush. That means if you trying to hurry up and roll around on the mattress with me to roll me out and rush me out, then you don't really like me and you don't want to invest in me. Men that rush you don't like you. Do you understand? They're supposed to be trying to get to know you in order to impress you, in order for you to feel comfortable. Remember when I said decent men want you to feel comfortable? And you're not comfortable. So what type of man are you dealing with? One that's not decent. Now, if he has money, he doesn't have enough to buy your comfort. Because in order to buy your comfort, he has to pay bills. First, he has to get you out of debt. First, to get you financially comfortable. He doesn't have enough money to buy your comfort. You don't feel safe. You don't feel secure. You don't feel comfortable. That's why men rush to try to rush you into a decision so you don't have time to think. so you don't have time to clock that they don't even like you. So as soon as a man starts rushing you or mentioning something that he has not made you feel comfortable about yet, he doesn't like you. You got intimate too fast, but he's still pursuing. How do you keep it that way and avoid getting too attached? They can pay some bills, baby. I also have another guy that is the same thing happened to. Okay, ma'am, get your debt paid off if you're rolling around on mattresses. Your debt needs to get paid. You need to have the car title in your hand by the end of the 3 months, okay? Or you need to have a car paid in full. You need the car title, ma'am. Stop rolling. Uh-oh, Greer Channel, Sprinkle Sprinkle. You're 56. Is it too late to find a man? No, girl, if you look good, it ain't never too late. Sprinkle. You can get an older man. Or maybe somebody else same age. Just we're trying to date somebody they same age. Yep. You said I should start a dating app? What? No, I shouldn't. That's the last thing I would ever start. You know what my dating app would be? The man have to send women gifts on their wish list. And once they hit the limit, they get a date. Okay? This is not gonna be my date. It's gonna be more like a shopping app. Okay? You're gonna have my perfume on there. Of course, I'm gonna put all my stuff on there first. All my products on there gonna be on there. Then whatever the other women pick out. Okay? So they got to buy a bunch of gifts. Look. Even to get a chance to ask them on a date. Do you understand? So they got to spend some money first and foremost before they even get to ask them on a date. That's the kind of dating app I would create. One that invests in the woman. Now, come on. App makers, hit me up. I got you. If you can't, you don't pay, you don't stay. You got 3 days to send a gift or you get kicked off and have to pay to start back on re-entry fee, baby. Okay? It's going to be a bunch of girls on there, no men. Watch. They can't afford it. Mm-hmm. Write it down. That's your next business idea. You know how many men will be like protesting that app? Call it the prostitution app. No, sir. It's the get your money together app before you get on there. It's the invest in a woman app, fool. Well, there's no guarantee she's going to go on the date with you. Oh, that's the risk you're going to have to take, sir. Be a decent person, and maybe she will want to meet your butt. Work on yourself. Right? That means she doesn't have to meet me. Well, maybe she should want to meet you, fool. Have to meet you. What you gonna do? That's how you respond to what you're doing. Get your money up. Exactly. If y'all don't listen and understand what I'm telling y'all as a woman, especially these guys in here. I'm 27, going out this weekend to start my roster. Any advice? Where should I go? And what do I say at the bars? How do I dress? You go out, first of all, you go and people watch before you go do anything. You need to go people watch and observe so you can know these answers for yourself. Okay? So don't go out to freestyle. Go out to observe and people watch. See what they wear. See what they're doing. See what type of men are looking their way. See what they're attracting. Just go watch this weekend, okay? Just go watch. Dress. Don't dress like a, something that's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Kind of be reserved, classy, and just go observe, so that the next time you go out, you know exactly what you got to go do. Okay. Sometimes y'all be trying to go out and y'all are all ill prepared. Y'all don't know where to go, what to wear, what to do. I would just say go people watch and observe, and then you'll know for the next time. Okay. Because if I tell you, I don't know where you're going. I don't know what city you live in. I don't know how old you are. I don't know none of the details. I don't know the place or wherever you're going. That's why you need to go and observe and collect your information and then do it again next week. Okay. All right. So yeah, Y'all were asking me about that dating app, and I was like, yeah, if I created one, it would be an investment app. You would have to invest in these ladies, buying them gifts, sending them stuff left and right. Sometimes the gifts might be money. Gift certificates, anyway, gift cards, whatever, credits towards stores. I don't know. And then, of course, there's no guarantee that they're going to meet you. They should want to meet you. That's why you got to be the utmost upstanding type of man to where the woman is excited to finally meet you and go out on a date with you. Okay? Because otherwise, if she's just there to collect the gifts and you haven't put in enough effort to pique her interest in you as a person, you see? Because the gifts are just the entryway. The gifts are your opening act as a man. Do you understand this? Your gifts are the opening act. If you suck and the opening act is better than you, then she might not want to go on a date with you. You understand? If the gift that you give her is better than you, of course she needs to bypass. Okay? If the opening act is better than the headliner, that says a lot. You can create me the app. Come on, Marina. Okay, hit me up, girl. Sprinkle. Girl, I'm probably not really gonna do that, but it's a really good idea though. Or maybe I will. You never know. Sprinkle. Hit me up. Mm-hmm. You said it's an amazing business idea. Yeah. You would go on that app? I'm surprised no other apps have done it yet. All these dating apps that don't get nowhere. Okay. Yeah. Let's create it together, ma'am. It's my idea. Y'all need the spokesperson. Okay. Of course the women are going to be for free. Duh. The men have to pay. The men have to buy them gifts. That way they can't future fake. They can't promise and lie to you. They got to send them gifts and to even get to text you or talk to you. Every time they want to text and talk to you, they got to send something. If they go too long without texting or type, whatever, either they got to start all over. Because that's that re-entry fee. Everything I talk about will be implemented in that app, and it'll be like a game. And men love to play them dumb games. You make yourself a game, they might want to win. They be gambling. They be spending money on gambling. They might as well gamble with you. See if they can see if they can win. See if they can win a date. Thank you. That apple made me crazy money. Oh, yeah, girl. Okay, sure. You married a 39-year-old Chinese provider on your roster. Oh, you're married. No. Let me read this over. Sure. One married 39-year-old Chinese provider on my roster. Always fulfill my required allowance. Have gifts, dinner, dates, and vacation, but mean, disrespectful, and demanding sometimes. Any advice? Girl, I'm not laughing at you. Yes, I am. I find that being annoying sometimes helps. So like whenever they're mean, act like you weren't listening and say, oh my gosh, I'm so like not listening. Could you say that again? When they have to be mean twice, literally is basically saying, you don't care what he's talking about. You're not taking it personally. And now he got to look stupid again for you to not take it personally. Okay. Sprinkle. All right. Put together outfits in your head while he's going off. then act like you didn't hear nothing he was talking about. It's like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. I was like in a daze. Could you say that one more time? I didn't catch it. Then you start looking around like you doing it again, like, okay. Totally unbothered. You don't take it personally. It means absolutely nothing to you. You're just there for the what? The money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. As I say, you learn how to put outfits together in your mind, or figure out what you're going to eat for dinner tonight. What shoes are going to go with that new dress you just bought? Think about all the shoes in your closet. Oh my gosh, what am I going to wear with that dress? I got 1,000 pair of shoes. Which one am I going? You know, it will literally take you out of the moment from taking things personally. And all you're going to hear is yap, 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 yap. You understand? Kind of like scroll the line in your own mind while there's someone in the background is talking and you're definitely not paying attention. It's almost like when you turn a movie on the TV and then you start scrolling on social media and you're not even watching the movie. It's like that, okay? You just have something on in the background. Hi, could you go more into depth about buying businesses with girl? Look, you see this? It's called a phone. You can chat GPT it, baby. You can literally chat GPT. It will tell you step by step, even give you websites on what to do. For me to explain it when they got AI to do that now, makes 0 sense. Okay? I promise you, you're going to get more information out of doing that with websites and direction. All I can do is tell you how to find it on ChatGPT, on Google AI, on something. They got back in the old days when I was trying to do this, they didn't have all that. I had to literally figure out how to do it. Y'all got it too easy. So just go ask ChatGPT or Google AI, okay? They'll lead the way. Mm-hmm. You know you need a lot of money for drop shipping. No, you don't. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because if you type in the cheapest way, the least expensive way, maybe they'll find that for you on AI, Google, or ChatGPT. Okay. They said instead of training people how to do research, or instead of training people how to, find certain things, they're going to have to train you how to ask the correct questions. All right. Which I think it's kind of cool because it's the same way with manifesting. Sometimes you don't manifest with the correct words, and that's why you ain't getting the correct results. If you know how to use ChatGPT, AI to find what you're looking for, you should be a really good manifester. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're really scared of aging? Well, any advice? Get to the med spa. That's my advice. All right, get you some money and get to the med spa if you're scared of aging. Got the solution for that? You're going to have to age, but you ain't got to look like it. The only way you're not going to age is if you're done aging. You know what that means. It means good night forever. All righty. You're just going to get better. Okay? You're just going to get better. Make sure you go get better, girl. Invest in yourself and go get better. Go improve. Go level up, girl. Go do that. Yeah, literally is. Like, you can look in the mirror and be like, girl, I don't want to look like this no more. Let me go hit up the med spa. And then when you come back out, you don't look like that no more. That's simple as that. It's like if you don't want to be fat no more, you can go to the med spa and be like, come on, let's get it going. And then in a week or two, in a couple of weeks, in a month, you ain't fat no more. Or you go on your way from not being fat no more. They got all the answers now. You got to go and figure them out. Okay. Yes, I think long term. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. When I start talking to men, I end up saying a lot about me, how to fix that. Have a script and stop and stick to the script and make sure half of it is lies. All right, get you a notebook, write you a script down. When they ask you dumb questions, you give them certain answers. You don't tell them everything about you. You keep everything vague. Don't stray from the script and make sure half of it is lies. The half that matters. Okay? That's how. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Understand. Okay, understood. Just wanted to hear how you did it personally because you liked my advice. Okay. I did it a long time ago before they had the tools that y'all got today. So in order for me to explain how I did it, it wouldn't even make sense anymore. You know, you understand the technology is too good now. That would be like asking someone how they wrote a book, edited, and put it out for sale before there was computers. You know what I'm saying? I did this a long time ago, girl. The technology is too good now. It wouldn't make sense for me to sit up here and explain it because you have technology now. Okay. But thank you. I appreciate you wanting to know the long backstory. What do you want me to say? I got a phone book and looked up in alphabetical order. Like that would be that literally what it would be like if I had to explain it. You know, it's like asking your grandma how she got the number to, the store down the street. She had to get a phone book, flip to it in alphabetical order, scroll down, not even scroll, but like look for the right thing, make sure she got the little ruler and put it under the right number so she don't mix the numbers up. And she had to call, and if they weren't open, she had to wait till tomorrow. See, it will literally be explaining to y'all in a process that does not exist anymore. So the technology is too advanced now. All you got to do is sit there and put it in. Okay. Sure, I need help controlling my emotions in the workplace. Let me emotions get the best of me. It's making it hard for me to keep a job. I'm starting me an online business, but I'm dealing with people. Okay. First of all, you just work. You ain't there to make friends. You ain't there to feel no type of way. You there to get money and go home. Act like it. When you're too nice to people, when you're too friendly to people, when you tell too many people your business, they get in your business. Okay, when you take things personally from other people at work, then now you're feeling emotional. You there to get this money and get home. That's all work is. Money and home. Money and home. You don't make friends with people unless it's your work husband that can take you out to lunch, but that's about it. Okay? You stay quiet, do your job, and go home. Open your own business, of course. Focus on that. Put all your energy towards that. Not dealing with people, not work politics, not that. Be the quiet one that nobody is trying to do, too much with. You there for some money, and that's it. Some people try to do too much at work. They want to be all social. They want to be friends. They want to tell people their business. They want to tell people too much information about themselves. You there for the money. That's it. If people don't like you, and you keep to yourself and you mind your business, then that's literally their problem, not yours, because you just there and getting your money. You understand? So stick to that. Work is work. Your personal life is your personal life. Control your emotions by seeing it just as money. Do what you got to do and go home. Don't think about your job after you get to the house. Learn how to separate it. Make a checklist. When you're done with that checklist, you're done with the work and you're done with thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Focus on not ending up in jail. That should stop you from being overly emotional. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yes, some people are not trained to control their emotions. They're just disciplined. That's not the same thing. See, in the school system, they discipline you. They don't teach you how to control your emotions. Because when you get out of like elementary school, they stop teaching you how to control your emotions. They just start disciplining you. Okay. What they need to teach is emotional control. All right. The whole class on that. Because that's why all these people be in the halls fighting, acting a fool, because they don't teach that. They need to make it part of the curriculum. We don't need algebra 3. We don't need algebra 2. Half of y'all not going to be building bridges and solving for X. They got AI for that now. So they need to instead focus on improving people mentally, So you need to, if your school didn't teach you, your mama didn't teach you, then you need to teach yourself. You need to take some time and make sure you stop taking stuff personally. If it's not beneficial to you, why do you care? The best way to control your emotions quickly is to stop taking everything personally. Start seeing if the reaction that you're going to give is financially beneficial. And if it's not, then it is a waste of your time. That's the quickest way to learn how to control your emotions. Treat them like money. Treat your emotions like money. Don't spend them. And treat taking things personally as if it's beneficial financially or not. Look, I don't take anything personally. This is business, especially at work. If you take every single thing personally, let me tell you why so many people take everything personally. Do y'all know the real reason why people take everything personally and they can't just let it go? The reason why so many people take everything personally is because of trauma. You were traumatized to think everything is your fault. You were traumatized and blamed for so much in your life that you started to blame yourself. So everything someone says to you, every little thing that they do, you start to take the blame for it. Because someone in your life blamed you for something that was not your fault. So now you make everything your fault. As an automatic response to avoid conflict. But instead it backfires. Why? Because now you're conflicted. Now you're mad at people because you made everything your fault. So how about this? How about not making anything your fault and stop caring and stop taking things personally unless it's putting money in your pockets? Okay? Leave it where it is. Don't take it personally. Stop taking the blame for everything. That's why you'll feel a certain way every time somebody try to do something to you. Somebody somewhere down the line that made you feel like everything was your fault. And that's why you take everything personally. Oh, woe is me. Girl, ain't nothing my fault. You know what's my fault? That you thought I cared. All right. It's called unbotheredness. And stop taking the blame. Stop being a doormat. Because see, that's deep psychological issues right there that y'all don't even realize. So you got to let it go. Don't take nothing personally no more. Put the bag down. Stop carrying the load. Okay? Some of y'all had a breakthrough and y'all don't even pay me my $150 for therapy. But I take gifts. Tithes and offerings. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Dating a guy slowed down in the last 2 months on spoiling me. Says he has to save money. We argued. Okay, he's too young, baby. You need to find an older man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If this man is living paycheck to paycheck and having to save up to date you, ma'am, this is not the one. or the 2 or the 3. This is the goodbye. Get rid of him, girl. He can't afford you. All right. B is like, you can say, oh, well, we can just be friends. Bye. And go on ahead and go to the next one because that one cannot afford you. All right. Sometimes y'all think y'all be finding a provider, but y'all just be finding somebody going paycheck to paycheck that likes you, but not enough to provide. Okay. That's like somebody going to the dealership, getting a car, and then having it repossessed. Girl, they can't afford you. Don't be over there struggling. Date other people. Tell them to call you in 2 weeks. Put them on the roster as paycheck to paycheck. Pete. You said we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love you, Diffie, sprinkle. Girl, that's paycheck to paycheck Pete. Put them on the roster. So every 2 weeks you see them. Paycheck to paycheck Pete. He only revolves around the roster every 2 weeks. When his paycheck hit, okay? You can't do nothing with him, girl. That's PPP, right? Y'all like my wig? I'm trying to adjust it, girl. Paycheck to paycheck Pete. Yes. You got to skip a week with him. It's every other week, every 2 weeks, girl. All right. See, if you just set the roster up correctly, you can keep them on there. If not, you got to get rid of them. You need another one. You need a couple of them. You need somebody already got their money up. They don't have to save up for nothing. You know, with them at any time. But if you really like paycheck to paycheck Pete, you got to rotate them every 2 weeks, okay? Sprinkle. You said part-time Pedro. Yes, so we were supposed to be talking about how women with money view men. Yeah, but hold on. Let me go take a quick break and then we'll come back and discuss that. Y'all get y'all questions screwed together and ready and stuff. But let me leave y'all with something interesting. I think y'all need a reminder about these dusties. He said, ride or die women age prematurely. Ride or die women are ugly and stupid. Why would a man want a woman who wants them at their lowest? Who had to help them back up, who had to dust them off? Why would they want that? There's no respect there. And every time he tries to take credit for something, you're going to be like, well, if it wasn't for me. He wants to feel masculine in front of a woman that don't know his dusty past. So he's going to use you, build on your back, let you build him up, and go start fresh with the next chick that he can get the respect from. That's why they don't stay with Barbara the Builders. That's why they don't stay with women who they've had struggle with, because you remind them of their struggle. You remind them of exactly when they were their lowest. They don't want that. Okay? That's why they don't stay. So only dumb women will help a man. Only dumb women will build a man. Only a dumb woman will step in and let a man build on her back so he can leave you for the next chick, because he don't want to face his struggle by looking at you every day. He don't want to face the fact that you are the reason why he ain't struggling no more, because men have egos, and you aren't the type of woman that he actually wants. You're the type of woman he needed. Oh, y'all seen that dummy? Get the kind of woman you need, not the kind you want. Okay, so he needs you, which means he don't have anything. When he wants you, that's the time that you're supposed to be with him. Not when he needs you, but when he wants you. Okay? Y'all be with men that need y'all, not want y'all. There's a difference. They need y'all to sign paperwork. They need y'all to, put them on the lease. They need y'all to put that down payment. They need y'all to pay for half the rent. They need y'all. But they don't want y'all. Understand it. Stop helping out men. Stop helping them out. They can help themselves, and they'll be more proud of themselves if they figured it out, rather than you giving them all your money and looking stupid. Sprinkle. How are y'all? You've been watching me for 10 years. Okay, Kitty B, sprinkle. Thank you, girl. Okay, so we were going to be talking about how women with money view men. Now, I'm going to try to be nice this time. And I want to explain it so that men can actually understand it, so they can do something about it. Don't take offense to this. I'm just trying to give y'all some hints and clues because I'm good. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. But like, if you really want some truth, men are viewed by women who have money, unless they're an upstanding, upright person that has their own money too. They view them as unevolved, in my opinion. Unevolved. So that's the nicest way I can say it. Unevolved. Like, if you don't have money or you're not leading with your money, you can't lead any other way. Okay? There you go. So if you don't have money, you're not going to get any respect. Nobody's going to be bothered with you. And if the woman you're interested in has just as much money as you, it's like you have none at all. You understand? You can't even impress her with money. Unless you're going to give all your money to her and let her keep her money and stack her money plus your money. Then that's kind of impressive because it means you're generous and that you like her. But it doesn't mean too much more else above that. It just means you really like her a lot, which is a good quality. She'll keep you around. But usually they just look at you as unevolved. Not trying to make this therapy, but you're so right. I have a dusty dad who barely provided for me, but always blames me for everything. I feel like, what? That this is why my relationships fail, both romantic and... Okay. Yeah, you got to stop blaming yourself, ma'am. Remember, parents don't know what they're doing half the time. And they put their inadequacies, if they don't take full accountability and responsibility for themselves, what makes you think that they're not going to blame everybody around them and make excuses? You know what I'm saying? Most dusties never take accountability. They always look for somebody to point the finger at, and that whoever that's there listening, that's who they're going to be. Do you understand? That's why when it comes to dusties and they start making them excuses, it's time to dismiss them. And whatever they're talking about just starts to sound like blah, 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 blah. Okay? Because that's poverty mind. And we don't listen to poverty mind. We don't get into accountability. They're not taking accountability. We're not taking it seriously. You understand? Who listens to poverty mind? Nobody. So that's how you need to think about it. Even though he was your dad, you got to think about it. That's just poverty mind talk. Dust demons. Okay? You married and want to find a new husband. You're part of the new organization that have eligible men who are quite interested in me. How do I date one of them without looking like a bad person? You tell them you in a lavender marriage, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do they know your husband? Will they ever meet your husband? If so, then don't tell them that. But if they will never meet your husband, tell them you're in a lavender marriage. They'll understand. Sprinkle. You won't look like a bad person. You look like a good person. Yeah. All right. Flip the script. If they know your husband or whatever, tell him he had to get married his inheritance and y'all are more like friends. There you go. Lie. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, yeah, remember dust demons. They try to blame everything instead of taking accountability. So no matter who, the poverty mind and the lack of accountability, whichever mouth it came out of, remember, it was always dust demons. That's literally it. So don't ever take it seriously or personally. Thank you, Damien Morgan. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Damien Morgan. Damani. Damien. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. So this is how you, to help you ladies or who had like people always putting a blame on you. If you think of it as not the individual person putting the blame on you, But like I said, a dust demon, somebody you already know is incorrect and wrong, then it's easier to accept. Okay. If it was a woman, pick Misha Demon. Okay. Whatever. It's not the person. Don't take it personally. It's their mindset. It's their brainwashing. It's their lack of accountability. It's their bad habits and their bad decisions. It's not them. So you should never take anything personally. If they had money, they might have made different decisions. That's why you can only see it as poverty mind or lack mindset, because if the money was in place, would they have taken accountability? Would they have done things different? Would you have been raised different? Would you have been blamed for everything? Probably not. You see? So that's why you can't take it personally. You got to see it from a higher perspective. When you see something from a higher perspective, you can't take it personally, because you see the circumstances that people were dealt, deal with them accordingly. You deal with them accordingly, not as if they're personally attacking you. You know what I mean? So this is a way to not take everything personally. You got to rise above it and look at it from a higher perspective. You said money brings out the worst in people. No, it doesn't. It does not. What money does is it brings out the true personality of a person. It makes them more of who they are. So if they're already trash, they're still going to be trash. You give a good person money, they're going to do good things with that money. You give a bad person money, that's literally always bad. They're probably going to do bad things with that money. You know? But if you give a person that has to make a decision, and they already have money, are they going to make a good decision or a bad decision? You know? Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you gave a woman money and you gave a man money before they were in a relationship, before they even had a relationship, let's say they grew up with money, they're going to be different people than those who didn't. Okay? Or if they grew up poor and they got some money, they're going to be making different decisions than if they had never gotten any money. Okay. You said money only exposes your true character. Exactly. Look, I have money. I'm sitting over here talking to y'all. Okay. I've been doing this. This is who I was and still who I am. I just might, do some other things, or shop more, buy something different, upgrade, but I'm still the same person. It didn't make me bad. All right. You said, thanks to Shira, I'm my own boss. Okay, Damien, I know that's right. Stay your own boss. Teach other people how to become their own boss. That's how you get free. Mm-hmm. All right. So let me tell you how else women look at men. Women that have money, how they also look at men. Because some of these men, they want to date a woman with money, but they don't know that it comes with a lot of extra issues. Okay. See, some of these men, okay, I'm not going to go 50-50, but I don't want my wife to be poor, but I want a woman with money too. Number one, she ain't finna spend nothing if she's in your presence. So you still got to pay. Number two, you got to be a better man than you were for somebody that don't have money, for her to even deal with you or accept you or like you. So that's why I say you better be careful, men, what you ask for, because sometimes You might want a woman to have her own money, but you won't be able to handle a woman with her own money because that would mean you would have to improve yourself as a human being. And most men, they might not want to do that. And a woman doesn't want a project. You already got to be a good human being. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're a man with money and you're a good human being already, a gentleman, someone that makes a woman feel comfortable, wants to impress her, blah, 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 then you are most likely going to be able to find a woman with money that will like you actually for you and not your money, but you still got to provide for her. Which you would have to do in any case. So that's not a big deal. All right. Got to be a decent human being already. She's not going to turn you into one. You got to already be one. Okay. And she's not going to ask you 20 questions to make sure you are one. She's going to sense it. She's going to clock you. She's not going to have to interview you or interrogate you. She's going to automatically know it by just the simple things that you're doing. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said most men who have money hate women who have money because they can't control them. It shouldn't be about control. You see, you don't have to control another person if they actually like you. And because you're a decent human being. And you're worthy of being liked. You don't have to control them. You see, that's the funny part. No one has to control another person if that other person likes them and likes who they are and likes how they're treated. You ain't got to control nothing after that. Do you understand? The reason why men want control is because nobody likes them for them. Unless they're a good, decent human being, they don't need control. Because think about this. If a woman likes a man, really, really likes him, and she knows that he's a good, decent person, she's not going to do anything that she understands would make him uncomfortable. Not mad, not upset, but uncomfortable. Just like he wouldn't do anything that made her uncomfortable. Do you understand? It's about comfort, security, and luxury. Not about control. That's the one thing dumb men don't realize. See my book? Leveling Up to Your Best Life, creating a life of comfort and luxury. Y'all need to go ahead and get this book. Now, this is about creating the life that you want and teaching others how to treat you. It is about comfort. If you can't make a woman feel comfortable, you lose. Okay? And when I say comfortable, I mean it in every sense of the word. Comfortable physically, comfortable spiritually, comfortable financially, comfortable emotionally. You can't control that. All you can do is provide comfort and luxury. If you already got money, baby, you need to be providing comfort and luxury because that's the only real way that most men can impress a woman these days. And if you don't have this for yourself, ladies, already, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, if you're not comfortable in your own environment, if you're not comfortable with your life decisions, no, nothing else gonna make you comfortable. Like I was explaining earlier, you take everything personally. That's something you need to work out too. Okay. So if you're comfortable with who you are, you're comfortable in your life, and you meet a man who makes you also comfortable, there's no need to control nothing. In fact, it is so freeing not having to control anything. All right. When your thermostat is on a temperature that's very comfortable, You don't have to go and control the temperature. You ain't got to do nothing. Everything is as it should be. So once they realize this as men, they might have the problem solved. The reason why men want to control so much, you ever ask yourself that question? Because we finna go deep. Y'all know. You know why men seek control? Besides the fact that they want to control a woman, but just in general, why they seek control. They seek control over their image. They seek control over how, how they deal with things. They seek control over women. They seek control over, it's their ego. But do you know why they seek control? Because they feel no control, no self-control. No self. It always starts from within, darling. If a man seeks to control, because he can't control himself. So he has to control everything on the outside, because he can't control nothing down up in here on the inside. A highly disciplined man does not seek to control, because he already controls everything within. So when you find a controlling man, he lacks discipline and control of himself. That's how you can clock him, baby. I can clock him left and right. Probably has an addiction problem. Probably has a gambling problem. He's on that corn hub. Yep. No. Yep. Some skinny jeans on. He's on the down low. I can clock people 2-3 miles away. That's why if you ever go out with me, if you ever meet me, I can clock people left and right. I can read them like a book, because they give away too much information just by how they talk, walk, the questions they ask, how they wear their clothes, everything. Especially men, they're easily giving themselves away too much. Okay. Don't try to analyze them, though. That's where you're going to make your mistake. Unless you're trying to get rid of them altogether. Don't sit there and psychoanalyze them. Observe and act accordingly. Observe, know what you're dealing with, and act accordingly. Okay? Not everybody's going to come to their own truth. Not at the same time. That man know he need to work on himself. Okay? You don't have to tell him. You don't have to hold his hand. And you don't have to ask him to do it. When he's ready to do it, he's going to do it. But in the meantime, you don't need to be dealing with him or somebody like him. Mm-hmm. Remember, everything is an outward projection. If you just think about this, everything is an outward projection. If he wants to control everything, that means he controls nothing. He's not in control too much within himself or with other people that are in his life, like maybe his job, his family, something. He lacks control somewhere else that's very important to him. That's why he seeks it in certain other things. So therefore, you already know he ain't no stable human being, and it's time to bounce. Okay? Remember what I told y'all earlier. Comfort does not need control. When both of you guys are comfortable, no one needs to control anybody. Like Morticia said, control is only an illusion. That's true. So it's a projection of lack of control and also definitely an illusion. Still thinking of an app idea. So the men should pay for registration, pay to see the profile pics, pay to unlock conversations, so that that's too much money. See, but thank you for, yeah, that's how a lot of apps are already. They can't even, okay, the woman is the motivation to buy the gifts. You just put a tax on the gift and it goes to the website. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So the men don't have to pay to register. They got to send gifts. They already see your pics, but they got to send gifts in order to talk to you. Okay. You put a tax on the gift and that goes to the website. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, ma'am. Because if they got to get through all of that, they're not even going to get there. You sell more by saying stuff is free and then charging a tax on it. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. Or a fee. Or just put an extra $1 on everything. All the gifts. Take your little cut. Service fee. Okay. Just like in the games. That's right, girl. Yeah. Thanks, your advice works. You got emergency surgery and your tuition paid in full. I know that's right, G Beans. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. See, where would you be without me? In an emergency and uneducated. Or struggling to pay for it still. Yeah, it's good that y'all are doing that because you need to save your little money. So you can invest in yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, I can make an affiliate income. That's yes, right, ma'am. See, y'all now y'all are thinking like business women. I like that. And getting your money and making them spend theirs. That's exactly where y'all need to be. That's what the app will also teach you. The app will also be a life lesson. Look good, make them spend, make them invest. And if you like them as a human being, then you can go out on a date with them. It's going to teach people how to act right. Then I can get my Nobel Peace Prize. Okay? Yes. How do you guys do it? I still feel like I don't know enough. You got to keep going. You got to, every day you got to wake up and learn. Wake up and get wisdom. Wake up and read my books. Wake up and continue to feed your minds. Okay? Because as long as it took to brainwash you in the patriarchal society, that's how long it's going to take to unbrainwash you. And once you're unbrainwashed, then you'll have it like this. Okay? So y'all need to get my books. Sprinkle, sprinkle, and Too Pretty to Pay Bills. Okay? Once you get it, it's done. Once you're unbrainwashed, it's over for them, baby. You need to get I Bring Nothing to the Table. And then this one will keep you on track from backsliding in the dust. The Wisdom of Shira 7. These are daily affirmations, quotes, permissions to, to live the sprinkle, sprinkle lifestyle. He said, please don't create one. The men will know all of our tricks. They're supposed to be contributing. You're teaching them how to gift. You're teaching, like with the app idea, you're teaching the men to invest. Okay. You know some dusty gonna turn around and make the same app for pygmishas. Do you understand? So it's gonna be fair. They're gonna have shoes on there, baseball caps, watches for the pygmishas to buy them, girl. We already know they're gonna do it. Dumb pygmishas gonna be on there spending, girl. But that's okay. At least y'all gonna be getting y'all's. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, I'm serious. That's hilarious though, right? Can you imagine? It's called Dusty Pygmisha app. You said, why do men even exist at this point? Girl, because you got to procreate. You got to bring more people to the planet unless you choose not to. Yeah. Is it safer to just leave men alone? It's do whatever you choose to be safe with, man. Remember, we were talking about comfort. feeling comfortable and protected when you're in the presence of a decent man. When you don't feel comfortable or protected, you're not in the presence of a what? A decent man. Okay. Money helps, of course, but you still don't feel comfortable if you know he ain't decent because you don't feel comfortable. When you can rest, when your nervous system can rest, when you're not in fight or flight, when you're not taking everything personally, when you're not walking on eggshells, ma'am, you feel comfortable and safe with that person. That means that's a good, decent person. Now, remember, there's also a balance. They got to also be able to provide because you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position as a woman. That's why they must provide. Because let's say you are in a relationship. Let's say you get pregnant. Let's say you're married. You give up your career to raise your kids, and you haven't started your business yet. You're literally in a very vulnerable position. And if you don't feel comfortable or safe around that person, you're not going to be happy. The kids aren't going to get the best version of you, and he ain't going to get the best version of you. He just ain't. You understand? So, in order for him to keep you comfortable, that's why he needs the money. And when you're good and ready, when them kids get into school or whatever, you can start your own business, or you can invest, or you can save, or you can work around the house and do whatever you need to do. Whatever it is you choose to do, it makes you comfortable. That's what you're able to do. So, like I said, any relationship that you're in and you don't feel comfortable in any sort of way, that's not a good person. And if you feel that in your relationship, it's time to start planning your getaway and start planning your getaway if you're not comfortable. The money might be good, but it may be lacking other things. And if you're truly trying to be comfortable in your life, sometimes that means exiting with the money. Or sometimes it means telling him, I don't feel comfortable. And if he's a good, decent person, he'll try to make you feel comfortable. If he doesn't, he's not going to care and it's not going to improve. And that's when you make your exit plan. You understand? So a lot of women say, okay, well, do I stay for the money? Ma'am, you stay if you feel like it. You stay if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, that's what your backups are for. That's what your businesses are for. That's what all that other stuff is for. When your comfort is no longer there, then you're going to make comfort elsewhere. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Check your super chat, girl. Hold on, girl. Candy. Girl, scroll all the way back here, back to the 1800s. Let me see. Mm-hmm. I don't see it. I'm scrolling. Hold on. What other books do I recommend besides yours and the other guys? What other books? Any psychology books, darling. Any books you can read on psychology. Any books that you can read on psychology. Any books. Go to the psychology section or go to the, they got so many online. Any books that have to do with psychology, you'll understand. Any books that have to do with power, psychology, stuff like that. Whatever you ask for. Okay, I already read that one. I read that one. Blah, 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 blah. He has money, but he got a history of being physically abusive. Okay, well then have 911 on speed dial. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm sure he don't want them called on him again, so act like you know. Also, it's pretty good to learn self-defense. You're 27 going out. Okay, I already read that one. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to find the ones that I missed. I don't see it, girl. All right, I think I answered it, hopefully. Can you attract a provider working as a waitress? Depends on where you working and how good you look. Yeah, you sure can. Depend on how you work. You ever see that series, Ginny in Georgia? She found a man with a waitress, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Yeah, you can if you look good. And they there. Gotta be some good looking waitress, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Think about this. If you are a man and this waitress comes over that is mesmerizing, it don't matter that she's a waitress. Are you mesmerizing? You looking better than everybody else? Then you can pull. Make sure when you go to work, you look good. All right. You gotta look real good, ma'am. What are they calling it now? Beauty max thing? You got a beauty max. But don't go overboard because you might scare them. All right. You still want to look human, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Some of these women out here, they don't be looking human at all. You still need to look human, okay? Don't do too much. Do enough to be mesmerizing. Don't do so much where people have to figure you out. Okay, that's it. All right. So I will see y'all later. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody who sent the sprinkles. You said what? You said wasn't pretty lady or pretty woman? No, she wasn't no waitress, girl. She was on that corner. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.